Okay, everybody, I said that I was going to try to do a continuation video for a couple pages, but I got interrupted and had to stop. So this is where I stopped on page 145 where we're talking about equal ratios. I didn't finish one of those examples and a couple of the questions that I wanted to answer. So just make sure you're looking at workbook page 45. We're still in the front looking at the very top of the page where the examples are, okay? So I'm looking at the one that says how to write equal ratios. And they give us the example of 30 to 40 written as a fraction, okay? And this is an example here. Obviously, we could simplify this fraction and make an equal ratio to put it in simplest form, but that's not what they're trying to show here. Now it's showing, just like when we use fractions, we can multiply by any factor we want to make a new equivalent fraction or a new equivalent ratio. So in the example, they use 2 as the common factor to multiply, and so 30 times 2 would give you 60. 40 times 2 would be 80. So this is an equal ratio that is just written in different terms as the original ratio that we have here. We didn't simplify it, but we actually multiplied by a common factor. So that's two ways to make equal ratios: to simplify or to multiply to create an equal ratio, okay? So let's look at the examples. I'm going to do number 1 with you from the bottom of page 145 on the front still. They give you in word form 5 to 30, and they want you to write it in simplest form. So if you're simplifying, you are dividing, okay? So you have to think, what can I divide 5 and 30 by? And you can divide 5 and 30 by, you can divide 5 and 30 by 5, okay? So, and you don't have to show this work when you do it, but I just want to show it here because it's not written in fraction form like we're used to. But 5 divided by 5, your answer here would be 1. And use the same term, still write it in word form. 1, 2, 30 divided by 5 gives you 6. So if you're wondering where these numbers came from, I got it by dividing by an equal term here, okay? So number 1 at the bottom of page 145, this is your simplified ratio, okay? Now, I'm also going to do number 3 from the next section. Number 3 asks for you to give 2 other equal ratios, okay? So we look at number 3, you have in word form 6 to 2, okay? So I'll show you can, remember, simplify this. If you look at it as a fraction, even though it's written in word form, this is a fraction. You can easily see that that fraction could be simplified by dividing. What can you divide by to make this simplified? You would divide by 2. So 6 divided by 2 and 2 divided by 2. So one of our equal ratios could be 6 divided by 2 is 3. Keep the 2 because it's word form, and 2 divided by 2 would be 1. So you could write it 3 to 1. Another another equal ratio here we could do by not dividing, we could multiply now to make an equal ratio. And you don't have to multiply by 2. We always use 2 as our go-to number. But let's challenge ourselves and do something like a 7. So 6 times 7 would be 42. Keep word form, 42 to 14. So you have 2 equal ratios. One we got by dividing and putting in simplest form, and one we got by multiplying, okay? I'm also going to do example number 6 with you guys. So let's look at number 6. So here it asks us, we have 16 fourths and 60 twentieths, okay? So they're asking us here, are they equivalent? So you're going to answer with yes or no. But we have to find the relationship between the two numbers first. So I see an obvious relationship here. How do you get from 4 to 20? We can do 4 times 5 to get to 20. Well, we have to say, if this is the relationship, can we repeat that relationship for these two numbers in the top? Is 16 times 5 60? And you may not know if 16 times 5 is 60, but you need to test it and see. You can't just say, yes, they are, no, they're not. You actually need to test it. So over here to the side, I'm going to do a quick 16 times 5, and 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 gives us 80, okay? So it's not true. 16 times 5 is not 60. 16 times 5 is 80. So this is not an equal relationship here to the times 5 we had down here on the bottom. So your answer there would be no. You also, since these are two fractions, when we compare, what do we use to compare fractions? You could cross multiply them and figure out if they're equal, but it may be a little bit harder math and take more time to do that than just look for that relationship. So if you want to cross multiply to see if they're equal, that's always an option for you. If they're not written in fraction form, you can write them in fraction form to test that, okay? All right, so I think you're ready to go for 145, the front and the back. If you have any questions, just let me know. And guys, what I think I'll do is take some pictures of these workbook pages, the answer key, and I may upload them or include them in the email on Friday, okay, just so you can go back and check your work. I think that would be helpful for you. So I said that I was going to try to put several days worth of the workbook pages, the examples, in one video. I got interrupted the first time, so there's actually going to be 2 videos, but you're ready to go now for workbook page 144 and workbook page 145. And so what I'll do is come back and do another video for the next couple days worth of workbook pages and include those in the Wednesday email, okay? So let me know if you have any questions. Do the Study Jams videos first, and then use these examples to help you if you need them. Do your workbook pages, and we'll move on from there. And I'll include answer keys on Friday maybe, okay? Let me know if you have questions. Hope to see you guys soon, and I'll talk with you soon.